The Peruvudaiyar Kovil, Tamil, is a Hindu temple dedicated to Shiva that is located in the city of Thanjavur in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu. It is an important example of Tamil architecture achieved during the Chola dynasty. It is also known as Periya Kovil, Brihadeshwara Temple, RajaRajeswara Temple and Rajarajeswaram. It is one of the largest temples in India and one of India's most prized architectural sites. Built by Emperor Raja Raja Chola I and completed in 1010 AD, Peruvudaiyar Temple, also popularly known as the Big Temple, turned 1000 years old in 2010. The temple is part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site known as the Great Living Chola Temples. Thanjavur Periya Kovil stands amidst fortified walls that were probably added in the 16th century. The vimanam, or temple tower, is 216 feet, 66 m, high and is among the tallest of its kind in the world. The Kumbam, Kalasha or Chikharam, the apex or the bulbous structure on the top of the temple is carved out of a single rock and it weighs around 80 tons. There is a big statue of Nandi, sacred bull, carved out of a single rock, at the entrance measuring about 16 feet long and 13 feet high. The entire temple structure is made out of granite, the nearest sources of which are close to Tiruchirappalli, about 60 kilometers to the west of Thanjavur. The temple is the most visited tourist attraction in Thanjavur and the state alike. The Brihadeeswarar Temple was built to grace the throne of the Chola Empire by the Tamil Emperor Arulmozhivarman, popularly called Raja Raja Chola I, Tamil, Raja Raja Chola I, in compliance to a command given to him in a dream. One of the first great Tamil Chola building projects, the temple's foundations were laid out in 1002 CE. An axial and symmetrical geometry rules the temple layout. Temples from this period and the following 2 centuries are an expression of the Tamils, Chola, wealth, power and artistic expertise. The emergence of such features as the multifaceted columns with projecting square capitals signal the arrival of the new Chola style. Intended to display the emperor's vision of his power and his relationship to the universal order, the temple was the site of the major royal ceremonies such as anointing the emperor and linking him with its deity, Shiva, and the daily rituals of the deities were mirrored by those of the king. It is an architectural example showcasing the pure form of the Dravida type of temple architecture and representative of the Chola Empire ideology and the Tamil civilization in southern India. The temple testify to the brilliant achievements of the Chola in architecture, sculpture, painting, and bronze casting. Construction. The esteemed architect and engineer of the temple was Kunjuramalan Rajaraja Paranthakan as stated in inscriptions found at the temple. The temple was built per ancient texts called Vastu Shastras and Agamas. The temple was built using a measure of 13/8 inch called an angula, 24 units equaling 33 inches called a asta, musam, or kishku. This is the same measure found in ancient lithal and other sites in the Indus Valley dating back 4,000–6,000 years. This same measure is used to build structures compliant with the Vastu Shastras and Agamas today. While some builders use a different measure, this is considered a standard due to its antiquity. This temple is the first building fully built by granite and finished within 5 YRS 1004 AD 1009 AD. The solid base of the temple raises about 5 meters, 16 feet, above which stone deities and representatives of Shiva dance. The huge Kalasam or vimanam, top portion of the shrine, weighing in at 81.284 tons and made of single piece, was raised to its present height by dragging on an inclined plane of 6.44 kilometers. The big Nandi, bull, weighing about 20 tons is made of a single stone and is about 2 m in height, 6 m in length and 2.5 m in width. The presiding deity of Lingam is 3.7 m tall. The Prakaram, outer precincts of the temple, measures 240 m by 125 m. The outer wall of the upper story is carved with 108 dance karanas postures of Bharatanatyam, the classical dance of Tamil Nadu. The shrine of goddess was added by Pandyas during the 13th century, Subramaniya shrine by Vijayanagara rulers and the Vinayaka shrine was renovated by Maratha rulers. There were significant additions from the Thanjavur Nayaks. The temple complex sits on the banks of a river that was channeled to make a moat around the complex's outer walls, the walls being built like a fortress. The complex is made up of many structures that are aligned axially. The complex can be entered either on one axis through a 5-story gopuram or with a second access directly to the huge main quadrangle through a smaller freestanding gopuram. The massive size of the main vimanam, Shikhara, is ca 60.96 meters high, with 16 elaborately articulated stories, and dominates the main quadrangle. Pilaster, piers, a raised structure, and attached columns are placed rhythmically covering every surface of the vimanam. The gopuram of the main entrance is 30 m high, smaller than the vimana. It is unusual in the Dravidian architecture where the gopurams are generally the main towers and taller than the vimanam. Main temple. A first rectangular surrounding wall, 270 m by 140 m, marks the outer boundary. The main temple is in the center of the spacious quadrangle composed of a sanctuary, a Nandi, a pillared hall and an assembly hall, mandapas, and many sub-shrines. The most important part of the temple is the inner mandapa, which is surrounded by massive walls that are divided into levels by sharply cut sculptures and pilasters providing deep bays and recesses. Each side of the sanctuary has a bay emphasizing the principal cult icons. The Karavare, a Tamil word meaning the interior of the sanctum sanctorum, is the innermost sanctum and focus of the temple where an image of the primary deity, Shiva, resides. Inside is a huge stone linga. The word Karavare means womb chamber from Tamil word karu for fetus. Only priests are allowed to enter this innermost chamber. In the Dravida style, the Karavare takes the form of a miniature vimana with other features exclusive to southern Indian temple architecture such as the inner wall together with the outer wall creating a pradakshina around the garbhagriha for circumambulation, pradakshina. The entrance is highly decorated. The inside chamber housing the image of the god is the sanctum sanctorum, the garbhagriha. The garbhagriha is square and sits on a plinth, its location calculated to be a point of total equilibrium and harmony as it is representative of a microcosm of the universe. In the center is placed the image of the deity. The royal bathing hall where Rajaraja the Great gave gifts is to the east of the hall of Irumudiswaran. The circumambulation winds around the massive lingam in the garbhagriha and is repeated in an upper story, presenting the idea that Chola Empire freely offered access to the gods. The inner mandapa leads out to a rectangular mandapa and then to a 20-columned porch with 3 staircases leading down. Sharing the same stone plinth is a small open mandapa dedicated to Nandi, Shiva's sacred bull mount. Temple deities. The Moolavar or prime deity of the Brihadeeswarar temple is Shiva. All deities, particularly those placed in the niches of the outer wall, Koshtamurthigal, like Dakshinamurthy, Surya, Chandra are of huge size. The Brihadeshwara Temple is one of the rare temples which has idols for Ashtadikparlakas, guardians of the directions, Indra, Agni, Yama, Nirdi, Varua, Vayu, Kabura, Na, each of whom was originally represented by a life-sized statue, approximately 6 feet tall, enshrined in a separate temple located in the respective direction. Only Agni, Varua, Vayu, and Na are preserved in situ. Adjoining structures. Surrounding the main temple are 2 walled enclosures. The outer wall is high, defining the temple complex area. Here is the massive gopuram or gateway mentioned above. Within this a portico, a barrel-vaulted gopuram with over 400 pillars, is enclosed by a high wall interspersed with huge gopurams axially lined up to the main temple. Features. A widely held, though disputed, belief is that the shadow of the gopuram, pyramidal tower usually over the gateway of a temple, never falls on the ground. The temple is said to be made up of about 60,000 tons of sandstone and granite. The Kumbam itself, a 60-ton granite stone carved in one piece, on top of the main gopuram is believed to have been taken to the top by creating an inclined slope to the height of 66 m to the top of the gopuram. Elephants might have been used to drag the stone up the slope. The temple has Chola frescoes on the walls around the sanctum sanctorum portraying Shiva in action, destroying demonic forts, dancing and sending a white elephant to transport a devotee to heaven. These frescoes, discovered in the 1940s by S.K. Govindasamy of the Annamalai University, portray the mythological episodes of the journey of Saint Sundarar and the Chera king to heaven, the battle scene of Tripurantaka, Lord Shiva, with Asuras, demons. The Chola artists have proved their mettle by portraying even the Asura women with a sense of beauty. Some of the paintings in the Sanctum Sanctorum and the walls in the passage had been damaged because of the soot that had deposited on them. Owing to the continuous exposure to smoke and soot from the lamps and burning of camphor in the Sanctum Sanctorum over a period of centuries, certain parts of the Chola paintings on the circumambulatory passage walls had been badly damaged. The Tanjore Nayak kings replaced them with a few paintings of their own, about 400 years ago. The Archaeological Survey of India, for the first time in the world, used its unique de stucco process to restore 16 Nayak paintings, which were superimposed on 1,000-year-old Chola frescoes. These 400-year-old paintings have been mounted on fiberglass boards, displayed at a separate pavilion. Temple personnel. Since its consecration in 1010 CE by Raja Raja Chola I, the temple maintained a staff of 1,000 people in various capacities, with 400 being temple dancers besides the Brahmin priests. These included record keepers, musicians, scholars, and craftsmen of every type, as well as housekeeping staff. In those days the temple was a hub of business activities for the flour, milk, oil, and ghee merchants, all of whom made a regular supply of their respective goods for the temple for its pujas and during festival seasons. Moreover, as evidenced by the inscriptions that found in the compound wall of this temple, the temple had always served as a platform for dancers who excelled in the traditional dance form of Bharatanatyam. Millennium Commemoration. Built in the year 1010 CE by Raja Raja Chola in Thanjavur, Brihadeeswarar Temple, popularly known as the Big Temple, turned 1,000 years old in September 2010. To celebrate the 1,000th year of the grand structure, the state government and the town held many cultural events. It was to recall the 275th day of his 25th regal year, 1010 CE, when Raja Raja Chola, 985-1014 CE, handed over a gold-plated kalasam, copper pot or finial, for the final consecration to crown the vimana, the 59.82-meter tall tower above the sanctum. To mark the occasion, the state government organized a Bharatanatyam classical dance show under noted dancer Padma Subramaniam. It was jointly organized by the Association of Bharatanatyam Artistes of India, ABHI, and the Brihadeshwara Trust, Thanjavur. To mark the 1000th year anniversary of the building, 1,000 dancers from New Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Singapore, Malaysia, and the US danced in concert to the recorded 11 verses of divine music Thiruvakapa, 9th of Thirumurai, composed by Kuruvarthavar, the guru of Raja Raja Chola, named Tiruvisayappa. The small town turned into a cultural hub for 2 days beginning September 26, 2010, as street performers and dancers performed throughout the town. Commemorative stamps and coins. On September 26, 2010, Big Temple's 5th day of Millennium celebrations, as a recognition of Big Temple's contribution to the country's cultural, architectural, epigraphical history, a special 5-postage stamp featuring the two 16-feet-tall giant Rajagopuram was released by India Post. The Reserve Bank of India commemorated the event by releasing a 5 coin with the model of temple embossed on it. A Raja, Cabinet Minister of Communications and Information Technology, released the esteemed Brihadeeswarar Temple special stamp, the first of which was received by G.K. Vasan, Cabinet Minister of Shipping. Mumbai Mint issued Rs 1000 commemorative coin with the same picture as on the Rs 5 coin. It was the first 1000 rupees coin to be released in the Republic of India coinage. This coin was a non-circulative legal tender, NCLT. On April 1, 1954, the Reserve Bank of India released a 1000 currency note featuring a panoramic view of the Brihadeeswarar Temple, marking its cultural heritage and significance. In 1975, the then government led by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi demonetized all 1,000 currency notes in an effort to curtail black money. These notes are now popular among collectors. In 2010, the then Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, M. Karunanidhi renamed semi-paddy, a type of high-productivity paddy variant, as Rajarajan 1000 to mark the millennial year of the constructor of the temple, Raja Raja Chola I. Popular culture. Kalki, a renowned Tamil novelist, has written a historical novel named Ponniyin Selvan, based on the life of Raja Raja Chola I Balakumaran. Another Tamil author has written a novel named Udayyar themed on the life of Raja Raja Chola I and the construction of the Brihadeeswarar Temple. 2015 Car Festival. The car of this temple rolled out on its trial run from opposite to Sri Ramar Temple on West Main Street and travelled through the main streets on April 20, 2015. This trial run was witnessed by a large number of residents of all ages, who had turned OP to see this unique event. 9 days later, the maiden procession of the temple car was held, with the deity's idols on top, on Wednesday, April 29, 2015. A large number of devotees took part in this inaugural run. This was the first such procession in this temple held in the past 100 years.